All right, in this video I'm going to show you how to use this Milwaukee measuring tape. So in this case we have the auto lock. This is one of my favorite measuring tapes. So also I'm going to show you how you can use, as a ruler, use it as a ruler. So I'm going to show you a few tricks that many people don't know. So one of the things that you can use with this type of measuring tape that you don't have, maybe with the cheapest one, is that you can extend it, let's say 6 feet or 2 meters or even a little bit more. So now I have like a 7 feet, and it still is in one piece. It didn't bend or anything like that. If I try to push it, it will bend like you see like that. But at least if you have to do something, let's say maybe you have to use it, as a pointer, saying, hey, yes, look at this, look at there. You can use it as a pointer as well, besides taking measurements. So now I'm going to show you a little bit further away, so the way you can see something. For instance, let's say here you have the small hook. So let's say that you want to connect it maybe to the end of the door like this, and then you can just pull it towards you. And then you can say, okay, from that end to here, we have almost 7 feet. And then once you finish working with the tape, you have the button that you can use in order to retract it. So as you can see, if you use it like that, it will stay. If you, turn it on the side, it may bend like you see here. So now I'm going to push the button, so the way it will retract. So also if you point it upwards, it will do it faster. So I'm going to show you a little bit closer, so that way you know what to expect, the main things about this measuring tape. So as you can see, we have different sizes or length. So we have 16 feet, you have 25 feet, and I think even you have maybe a little bit longer. But I think 16 feet, at least for most of the things that I do, at least for me, is good. If you don't know that, get 25. So we have the auto lock. So you have another ones that are not auto lock, and you have so the auto lock means that you pull it like you see here, and it will stay in place. If you push the button that you have in the front, on top, it will retract. So in the other ones, it's like you keep the push, you keep holding the button, and it will retract all the time. I found them very annoying, but if you want this, at least I like it a lot because of that. Another thing about this is you have a place. If you want to put here a lanyard. This is for people that works in the heights, let's say in the top of the tower, installing antennas or something like that. And then you can have it wrapped around your wrist, so that way you don't lose it or you don't drop it. Also here you have the hook, so that way you can connect it on. Maybe you can put it on your pocket or on your belt. And here you have something that is very important that many people don't know. Here you have the measurements that is from here to this end. So for instance, here it says 3 inches 1/8, or you have, I think it's 79 millimeters. So as usual, people from Milwaukee, they don't know this, but if you write in red and the background is in red, you are not going to be able to read it easily. So they have to use different color, but it's a design issue. Other than that is how you use it. Now I'm going to show you also how you can use it as a ruler, because yes, you can take measurements with this, but if you have to make a straight line, I'm going to show you how you can do this as well. For instance, here, something that I like about this is that you can see the different measurements. Here, for instance, if you want, maybe 1 inch and a quarter, 1 inch and a half, 1 inch 3/8, or 1 inch 3/4, or 7/8, something like that. You have everything. If if you're here in the US for the first time or recently, you don't know, everything, all the lines, it will be nice to have a reading like you see here. people who has been using this type of measuring tape for a very long time, you don't need this. I mean, you can tell by the lines, and that's it. But I like to have them, and I think it's very useful to have something like that. Now I'm going to show you how you can use it, to take a measurement with this from here to here, and the regular way. For instance, most people, if you have to take a measurement, you put it like that, and then you say, okay, I have 14 inches, and that's it. But what happens if you're maybe in one place where you cannot do this, or maybe you can use this, right? So basically, you can put it like that, and then you can do the math. You say, okay, from here to here, 3 inches and 1/8, 1/8, and then here, from here to here, I have 10 inches and a half. So you can do the math. So that is how you are going to get the rest. And another thing that you have to keep in mind is with this hook that you see here. So basically, when you're taking measurements and you need very precise measurements, you can take the measurement from here, this end, or if you use this like that, and then that this is going to move up and down, and the measurement is going to change, maybe 1/8 of a fraction, so it will be a little bit different. So if you need a lot of precision, otherwise for most cuts or anything like that, even this little bit, it will not be a big deal, but it is something that you have to know. And now I'm going to show you how you can use it as a ruler to make straight lines. All right, so basically, if you have to take a measurement, you can do it like that. Here we have almost it's 21 and 3/4, let's say. But if you want to make a straight line from here to here, how you can do this? Usually with the regular measuring tapes, you cannot do this, but with this brand, you can do it. So basically, you put it this way, like that, and then you grab a marker, and that's it. And then you make the line, and you don't need any other tool in order to make the straight line. If you don't have anything like that, you can use maybe a chalk line. Maybe I'll make another video later about how to use a chalk line. So if you have to do this, but otherwise, if you want to use something that you have handy, close to you all the time, this is a good way to do this. Another thing that you have to know here, so here you have the inches, and then you have the fractions. Like I told you before, if you want to cut maybe or measure something, and you have to cut it, like say 3 inches, you measure it here. But if you need, 3 inches and a quarter or something like that, you have the measurements, the smaller measurements here. Also, if you need to measure something, a little bit longer, that 12 inches is 1 foot. So here, basically, as you can see here, you will see 12 inches, 1 foot, and so on. So that is how you can use the measuring tape. So that way, and you can do any job. As usual, I am in US. If you need tools, electronics, or anything like that, please let me know. I can ship it to you. Otherwise, if you're here in US, I'll leave you the link so that way you can buy it yourself. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And if you want to learn more about tools, go to my playlist and you will see them all.